Buckle up, as this week in the Pokemon TCG, we've got some huge updates you won't want to miss. New cards have been revealed featuring fan-favorite trainers and their iconic Pokemon. A fresh system is being introduced to keep scalpers and bots at bay on the Pokemon website, and we've even got details for the distribution of the stunning cards that won the illustration contest last year. I was about to say earlier this year, but no, we're in 2025 now. So make sure to hang around to find out where you can get your hands on them. Oh, and did I mention a brand new deck is hitting store shelves later this year, and it's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with top-tier decks. So if you're looking to get into the game, this is the perfect time to do it. If you want to stay ahead of the game though and keep up to date with weekly news breakdowns like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that like button either to let YouTube know you're loving the content. With all that out of the way, let's dive into the first big reveal, the latest cards coming out in Heatwave Arena. So with Heatwave Arena, we're getting to find out that Misty, Ethan, Cynthia, and Arven are going to be the trainers featured in this set and bringing their Pokemon along with them. There's going to be 63 cards in there before the secret rares, so decent chunk of cards that should be introduced into the game and is likely going to be in our May English set. So it won't be coming out in Journey together in March, or at least it's not confirmed if they will or won't be, but the fact that we're getting new trainers on there and some pretty big name ones, I feel like they would have been on the booster pack art if they were expected in the set. The cards we will be getting, or at least the ones we've seen so far we'll be getting, is Ethan's Cyndaquil line. So the basic in there does 30 damage for fire energy. You do have to discard an energy from this Pokemon though. 70 HP on there, so you can search it out with Buddy Poffin, which is always a nice thing to be able to do. It's going to evolve up into Quillava, also having Ethan in the name. It's kind of how these cards are going to work. They have the trainer tied to them. They need to evolve into a Pokemon that also has that trainer's name on there. It's specifically Ethan's Pokemon. Quillava though, having the ability Adventure Bound. Once during your turn, you can search your deck for an Ethan's Adventure, so he is getting his own supporter card coming along with this. You reveal it, pop it into your hand, so it's just a great way to be able to consistently hit a supporter for turn, which is really nice, and the Typhlosion is going to tie into that supporter card. As the attack Buddy Blast does a base damage of 40, then 60 more damage for each Ethan's Adventure card in your discard pile. So we used to have a Delphox, well I guess we still technically have a Delphox. I think it's in Silver Tempest, so still in rotation right now. That scaled up damage based on the amount of Serena cards in your discard pile, so it's kind of just doing that same thing but with Typhlosion now and Ethan's cards. So 1 fire energy to be able to do potentially up to what, 4 times 6, 240 plus base 40, 280. That's not bad for 1 energy. You can boost that damage up in some ways. We do have Scaly Dirge EX, where it's like discard a fire energy, boost your damage by 60, gets you up to 340, or check a max belt on there, gets you up to, what's that, 330? Yeah, that's good. That's a good number to hit. That takes down a Charizard. Let's take down a Dragapult. Single prize shenanigans, I am for this. I do host the Budget Build Battles tournament over on Limitless too, so a single prize attacker for that could be useful, but you can only have 2 copies of a card with the same name, so only having 2 Ethans, that means you're capped at 160 damage. It's not bad, but yeah, I think for standard, this will be a solid single prize option to go into. Ethan isn't just running Typhlosion though, he's also bringing a Slugma line, so you can use 1 fire energy to do 20 damage, evolve this up into a Magcargo. It's got the ability Melt and Flow. This Pokemon has no energy attached to it, it has no retreat cost. Free pivot Pokemon, it's always a good thing to have in a deck, but for 3 fire energy, you can use Lava Burst, which does a multiplier of 70. You're going to discard up to 5 energy from this Pokemon. It does 70 damage for each card you discard in this way. So if you're just doing the base amount to get the attack off, 3 fire energy on there, you're doing up to 210 damage, which is, yeah, not bad. You can take out some basic EXs with that. Getting up to 5 though, 5 times 7, 350. That is taking out your Charizards, your Dragapult EXs, so you can be taking down stage 2 EX Pokemon with this. Accelerating the energy out to this is going to be what's kind of awkward though. Like to accelerate out fire energy, we have Magma Basing currently, but that's going to be rotating before this card releases, so that's out of the question. There is Mela, which if one of your Pokemon was knocked out by your opponent, you can attach a fire energy from your discard pile, draw until you have, I think it's 5 or 6 cards in hand, so that could be a helpful way to get some energy onto this. But there's also a Ho-Oh EX that's going to be coming out with Magcargo, and I think that's kind of the way that they're leaning for this card to be played. Since its ability Golden Flame allows you once per turn to attach up to 2 basic fire energy cards from your hand to one of your benched Ethan's Pokemon. It doesn't say you turn, so potentially you could have up to 4 Ho-Oh in play and rush out 8 energy from your hand onto a benched Ethan Pokemon. So being the Magcargos or multiple Magcargos, it's a little bit threatening. You do still have your attachment for turn, so it gets up to theoretically 9 fire energy you could be attaching in a single turn. Magcargo caps out at being able to discard 5 energy, so you're almost able to fully charge up 2 different ones in one go. Are you going to be playing the deck that way? Probably not. It's likely just going to be 2 Ho-Oh in play when you're doing this, but yeah, there's some solid synergy there. The fact that this is on a basic Pokemon and easily charges up a single prize attacking Pokemon, I feel like the prize trade's going to heavily trade in your favor, and yeah, it seems like Ethan's got some solid decks he's going to be bringing. The Typhlosion, that's going to be solid, and then Ho-Oh and Magcargo, yeah, there's definitely 2 different decks you could be building with this Pokemon, and that's just what we've seen so far. Misty is also getting some Pokemon, so Psyduck having the ability Slapstick Jump. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon's on your bench, you can discard the bottom card of your deck. If you do, discard all cards attached to this Pokemon and put it on top of your deck. That's different. I'm sure there's going to be a use case for this where it makes sense. Yeah, all right, Misty's getting a Psyduck. I'm not sure if she's going to get a Golduck or if it's going to be kind of like the anime where it's just like, no, she's only got a Psyduck. There was that one time where she thought she had a Golduck and like it was not her Psyduck. She's also bringing a Magikarp and looks like a Gyarados will be evolving from it. So unlike Psyduck, this one is likely going to be relevant. Not saying the Psyduck isn't, I'm not seeing a use case for it off the top of my head at least. But Magikarp has the ability Incredible Dive. As long as this Pokemon's on your bench, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. So that means damage counters from Dragapult, you get to ignore those. They're not going to be able to go, hey, there's 2 Magikarp on your bench, and they're gone. You're fine. He's protected. So that's good. You can evolve it up into Misty's Gyarados, has the attack Splashing Panic, does a multiplier of 70. You're going to discard the top 7 cards of your deck, then do 70 damage times the amount of Misty's Pokemon you find there. So I guess that's kind of the idea with Psyduck, is you can have it in play just so that you have another basic Pokemon. So if Gyarados gets knocked out, you're not out of the game, but you also have the option just to like ditch Psyduck and put it on top of your deck. So you're guaranteeing at least 70 damage for the Gyarados. I guess that's the use case for it. Seems odd, but yeah, it's good to have Pokemon that say Misty on them. So yeah, that's cool. We did have a team up Gyarados that used to discard the top 7 cards of your deck and did, I think it was 40 or 50 damage for each water energy you discard in that way. You discard all the cards, like all the trainer cards and other Pokemon that go in the discard, but then the energy would go back into your deck. The fact that this is just discarding the top 7 cards of your deck and isn't recycling them kind of hurts, but it does hit a much higher number. So discarding 7 times 7, you can get up to 490. Even if you're only hitting 5 Misty Pokemon, you're doing 350, you're taking out a EX. So that's nice. We do have Academy at Night, so you could put a Misty Pokemon from your hand on top of your deck. You could then bounce Psyduck, put it on top of your deck, guaranteeing yourself 140 damage. So there's going to be ways to make this work. And then theoretically, Cypher Maniac as well. So you could go Cypher Maniac, 2 cards on top, then Academy at Night, card on top, and then Psyduck to guarantee yourself 4 and get up to 280. That's not bad, actually. I kind of like that. We're going to try building Gyarados. Ethan is getting a Pichu as well. So this one being a lightning type, that's why it wasn't with the other Ethan Pokemon. They're kind of showing these by the card numbers. So fire type is before lightning in chronological order in sets. But his Pichu, it's a baby Pokemon, so it has 30 HP. It has free retreat and it has a free attack. You're going to do 30 damage and draw a card. That's not bad. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. It's no Budu, but it's not bad. Ethan's Adventure, though, so we are getting to see the supporter card already. You're going to search your deck for up to 3 in any combination of Ethan's Pokemon and a basic fire energy. Reveal them and put them into your hand. So the Quilava searches this out. This searches out your Typhlosions, maybe another Quilava or another Cyndaquil to like get your Ethan Pokemon online and a fire energy. So Typhlosion needing just 1 fire energy to attack. You're just helping set up your attackers and also charging up your attackers. I like that. That's cool. It will also be good for the Ho-Oh and the Slugmas and Magcargos, because it could just be like, hey, get a Magcargo, get 2 Ho-Oh and a fire energy. Ho-Oh accelerates that fire energy onto a Magcargo, and ideally you have another one in your hand you've got with like an Earthern Vessel or just straight drawing into it. So yeah, honestly, that seems like a really good supporter card for him to get. Sacred Ash is also coming out in this set. It's actually a reprint card. Think slightly eroded. You're going to shuffle up to 5 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. Previously, it just said shuffle 5 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck, so it was like you had to be able to fulfill that need to play the card. I believe it just kind of got errated just for play purposes previously, but now it's officially written on the card, so that's good. Getting more Pokemon recovery in the format is always a good thing. Right now we've got, what, Super Rod, Lana's Aid, and Miriam? Oh, and Night Stretcher. But yeah, just another way to get Pokemon back from your discard pile into the deck. It's appreciated. And then, yeah, it's looking like we're just getting a peek at the illustration Pokemon down here. So we do know how we're going to be able to get these in English, but in Japan, they're going to get this by purchasing a booster pack from this set, and then they just get one of these cards. So that's pretty cool. I like that way of going about it. The English versions of these, though, to get your hands on them, they're going to be coming out at retailers on February 1st, which I believe is to tie in with Pokemon Day. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But yeah, so you'll be able to get just promo versions of these. There is a Toxtricity EX, 3 energy, does 240 damage. It's not super playable. The Pikachu Unwind heal 20 damage from this Pokemon, not super playable. And the Feraligatr, 3 water energy and a colorless, 140 damage. Flip a coin and potentially it's invincible. Yeah, you could try and play it, but for the most part, these are in here for the artwork. So yeah, fans of the Pokemon games and members of the community did submit artwork, and yeah, they won a contest, and now it's on real cards. So props to the people that did that, respect it, and there's some really cool art. I like it. I do really like it. And the fact that Feraligatr got a card, that's nice. It's nice that it's not just like, oh, here's another Charizard card. For some other cards that we are getting, though, there is Lillie's Premium Tournament Collection. So we did know that another tournament collection was going to be releasing. We didn't know what cards were going to be included in it. And it looks like this one's going to be centered around Lillie. So there was previously Iono and Professor something that have gotten these, as well as Cyrus and Clara. So now Lillie's getting her own one. You'll be getting a deck box in here, some sleeves, coin, counters, yeah, and then a promo version of Lillie's Clefairy EX, which honestly it looks like a solid card. It's got a Rondo style attack similar to the Johto Beasts, which we like on the channel here, doing 20 base damage, then scaling up by 20 for every Pokemon on yours and your opponent's bench, and the ability makes it so that your opponent's Dragon Pokemon are weak to Psychic, so effectively bringing the Fairy type back into the game with an ability. So yeah, really cool that they're doing this. If you're wanting to get your hands on a copy of Lillie's Clefairy and some other like little goodies to go along with it, it looks like there's some booster packs too, 6 packs in there. Yeah, not a bad way to go about it. These usually set you back, I want to say $40. Do they give a price on here? $39.99. Okay, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad. So yeah, if you like these kind of like milk box style distributions they do, we're getting another one of them this year, focusing on Lillie. The other big thing coming out, and this one I am very excited for, and I'm gonna try and find somewhere doing pre-orders probably after I finish recording this. But yeah, Dragapult EX League Battle Deck. So we did recently get a Charizard League Battle Deck that got you a Charizard Evolution line, Pidgeot Evolution line, and a Prime Catcher. We're getting another one focusing on Dragapult EX, and this is going to be getting you a 4/4/4 evolution line of Dragapult, which is kind of nuts. A little hefty on there. You can probably thin some of those out, but you're also getting a Pheasantipity EX and an Unfair Stamp. Not sure that Unfair Stamp is like the best A-spec to pair with Dragapult. We do have the Crystal, which I think is probably the better option to go for. So there's some upgrades you can make to the list, and we'll probably cover that in a separate video. So if you're interested in picking this up, don't worry, I'll be doing a bit more of a deep dive into this, but very cool that they are continuing to put these products out. It's a good way to get into the competitive game without having to go pick up a bunch of singles. It's like, hey, I want to go to League, I don't have a deck. Hey, you can just pick this box up off the shelf and sleeve it up and you're ready to go. Like you can just rock up, buy this, and you can play. And at a competitive level. Pheasantipity, it's a bit of an expensive card at the moment, so releasing in this, we should see the price go down, or if you're just wanting to get a copy of Pheasantipity and don't mind getting some other cards with it, this is a great way to go about it. Other amazing staple cards included in here. Can't really read them, they're quite small on there. Do we get a full list? No. We can try and read them on here. But yeah, so you're getting the 4/4/4 Dragapult line. You're also going to be getting a Natu and Xatu evolution line in there. So that's a way to get some psychic energies out for your Dragapults and then just manually attach a fire energy. You can get attacking that way. For the trainer cards though, you'll be getting Arvins, which are also a little tricky to get at the moment. Some Ionos, Boss's Orders, Amela, Professor Turo's Scenario, 4 copies of Buddy Buddy Poffin, 4 copies of Ultra Ball, looks like 2 copies of Earthern Vessel, another pretty expensive card to get your hands on. And yeah, some other really solid staples. So if you are mostly playing the game online and trying to transition into the physical game or just considering it, this is a great product to pick it up and get into it. The Charizard EX one is still a very solid option, so it just gives players some options to look into. I feel like I'm saying options a lot. You know what? You got the option to boop that subscribe button. I reminded you earlier, but if you haven't done it, there you go. Option. The illustration contest promos, though, yeah, it's Pokemon Day. I feel like there's just 2 tabs of this that I had open, so apologies, but just confirming that is coming out on Pokemon Day. And then the Pokemon Center implementing that queue system I mentioned. So yeah, they're going to make it that you go onto their site, you want to buy cards, you'll be put into a queue. This is only on high traffic times though, so like when a new set comes out or when they do like a big restock, it seems like they've tested this out with a recent restock that they've done. You'll be put in a queue. It'll tell you, hey, you got half hour or you've got an hour expected in line, and then you'll get a chance to go into the store. You'll get 10 minutes where you're actually on the website to pick out your stuff. And then after that, it'll be like, hey, you're bumped out and back into the queue. So while you're on there, just be mindful of like what you're trying to pick up. Like if you know, hey, I'm going on there to buy an ETB, that's all you need to do. Just put that in your cart, put the other things in your cart, and like kind of get moving along. It's sort of like they're having people in the line. It's a digital store, but at the same time with a lot of traffic, it makes it tricky. And with scalpers and bots, it's just a way to be able to go like, hey, they're in here. It's a bot. They're trying to run through a script, and then it's just like, oh, there's a hour wait line. It should, in theory, kind of throw that bot off, and then they're not buying up all the product before other people do. I don't know too much about bots though, so I'm sure they'll still try and find a way around it, but Pokemon's at least trying. So appreciate that they are mindful of the situations going on right now. There's been some crazy stuff. People picking fights in stores, people just buying out entire supplies of stores. And yeah, and even the online shop seem to be struggling to keep up. So there's no perfect way to go about it, but I do appreciate that they're putting in the effort, and I'm sure you guys do as well. Or maybe you have a different thought on this, like should they be doing things differently? Or are you a scalper and you're annoyed that they're trying to fight you? Because if you're a scalper, I'm kind of annoyed at you. So hey, nice to meet you, Triple B. Maybe you don't subscribe. You're not welcome. I'm just kidding. Everybody's welcome here. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy the video. Until next time though, stay golden, you Goombas.